Yeah, good morning, children. Today we are going to start a new topic, socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. So, in the earlier class, we have completed the French Revolution, which was ended by the Napoleon ruling. The French Revolution was ended by the Napoleon ruling, and in this lesson, we are going to discuss about the other European countries, how the socialism started in the other European countries, what is the meaning of the socialism, and what is the Russian Revolution, which was started in Russia. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss in this lesson. So socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. So under this topic, first the introduction which we are going to learn about the age of social change. So here the age of under the topic of age of social change, we are going to learn after the French Revolution how the society has been changed in the you know in the Europe continent as well, how this social change brought in the different countries of the world, how the social change brought in the different countries. So that let us discuss now. The age of social change. The French Revolution opened up the possibilities of creating a dramatic change in the way in which society was structured. So we have discussed in the French Revolution that the society has been divided into three sectors like clergies, nobles, and the third estate. So that we have discussed. And after the French Revolution, how the society has been structured, in what way the society has been structured, or the people have divided into the different categories of, the, according to their maybe the financial status or religion. So, like what way the social change have been come in the Europe continent as well, the other countries of the world. So we will be discussing in this. So before 18th century, society was broadly divided into estates and borders, and it was the aristocracy and church which controlled economic and social powers. So this also we have discussed in the French Revolution that before the 18th century, in the France, the society have been divided into three sectors. Again, just now we have discussed like clergies, nobles, and the third estate. And if you can see in that, the clergies and the nobles were holding the powers of, uh, controlling of the economic and social powers. So they have all the rights of, maintaining the society, and they have all the rights of, maintaining the finance sector as well. They were maintaining the society also. So this kind of situation, like the complete power of a society was with the highest financial status people in the France. So this kind of situation we have seen in the France in before 18th century. So before the French Revolution started, the society of the France was divided into the three sectors like nobles, clergies, and the third estate, and where these nobles and clergies were holding all the powers of the society and the economical powers with them. So after the revolution, it seemed possible to change this. So we have seen that after the French Revolution, because the third estate people, they revolted against the first and second estate, because what was the cause of that? What was the cause of the French Revolution? That should, to get the equal rights to all the people in the country, and all the people should treated equally, and they need democratic kind of government, they need the republic of government, means representatives should be selected from the people, and that selected people should rule the country. So when the representatives are ruling, so everyone will be treated equally, irrespective of gender, creed, caste, or religion. All the people should be treated equally. So that was the motive of the French Revolution. So after the French Revolution, we could see that there was a lot of change took place in the France. Like the clergy system, the noble system was abolished. The slavery system was abolished. Women also they got the rights. Women also treated equally after the French Revolution. There were so many changes. Even all the people they have treated equally. They have started conducting the election. They have started implementing the constitution. Before that, there was no constitution. Before French Revolution, there was no constitution in the France. But later, the constitution was also the Louis XVI who was ruling. Even he accepted to implement the constitution in the France. So these all changes have been taken place after the French Revolution, and these all social issues which we have discussed in the French Revolution, and new ideas about individual rights and who controlled social powers began to discussed. So after the French Revolution, the impact was on the complete world. People thought that yes, if the revolution takes place, we can change the society. We can begin the new kind of thoughts, developing in the society. So this was impacted more on the other parts of the world. And not everyone in Europe, however, wanted a complete transformation of society. So here we are discussing, yes, especially this kind of change took place in the Europe. Europe, almost all the countries, they were waiting to change the society in their countries, but not all the people. Yes, there are some people who don't want to change their society. They want to continue with the same kind of ruling in their country. But there are some people who wanted to change their society. So even what are those people and who want the changes? So like in the France, like how the society have been divided into three sectors, like clergies, nobles, and third estate. Coming to the Europe, when the social change took place, at that time in the Europe we can find three category of the people in the Europe countries. One is liberals, radicals, and conservatives. So the complete society of the Europe country, I mean Europe, in the Europe countries, the complete people have been divided into three sectors. So the complete in the European countries, we can find the society have been divided into the three groups of people. Divided in the sense it was not divided by anyone. We can find such kind of groups in the European countries like liberals, radicals, and conservatives. So in the words itself, we can understand that liberals in the sense those who want more freedom, equality, opportunities, rights, these all things comes under the liberals. And radicals in the sense these people mostly they will fight for equal opportunities to the people. All the people should be treated equally, and the government should appoint it properly. So such a kind of things comes under the radicals. And coming to the conservatives, they are not, ready to accept any kind of change in the society. So these three group of people we can find in the Europe countries during the 19th century. So let us see first about the liberals. What is the liberal and what kind of motto was there with the liberals? So let us see. Wanted a nation which tolerated all the religions. These liberals, they wanted a nation, a country, which country will accept all the religions in the sense even in the Europe country, if you take in the Europe continent, the people mostly they follow the Christian religion. But in the Christian religions also there are again categories. So in England actually they worship the I mean the the churches, where they are worshipping the mostly the powers are there with the church category. So they want the Catholics also should be given the importance by the government. So for that they were liberals were telling that all the people, all the religious people should be tolerated, should be treated equally, and there should be kind of nation that all the religions should be treated equally, and opposed the uncontrolled power of dynastic rulers. So the powers, whatever the powers are there, that powers should be there with the all the people. It's not the powers are vested with the government. The rulers who are there, the power should be not only controlled by the rulers, and wanted to safeguard the rights of individuals against government. All the people, they should be treated equally and they should have some rights. Every individual person should have the rights. So these all were the proposals of the liberals in the Europe continent, and argued for a representative elected parliamentary government. These liberals were arguing that the representatives should be selected from the people through elections, and these representatives should attend the parliament, and through the parliament the administration should done. That means indirectly the people will be participating in the administration. So these liberals were promoting that the representative kind of government should be there. It's not a monarchy government or dictatorship of government. The representative kind of government should be there in the countries, and demanded a well trained judiciary that was independent of rulers and officials, and not only the kind of government which is elected by the people, and also they were asking a well trained judiciary. Judiciary means the one of the organ of the government which will try to checking with the rules and regulations, the people who are following the rules and regulations or not, the laws which are implemented by the government, the checking of the laws will be done by the judiciary sector, like the courts, the lawyers, the police comes under the judiciary. And these liberals were asking that this judiciary should be separated from the government. The judiciary power should not hold by the government. They should have a separate powers, and these judiciary powers should not be there with the rulers. This was also one of the demand which was proposed by the liberals, and did not believe in universal adult franchise and wanted the right to vote for only the men of property. And one more proposal of the liberals that they didn't believe the universal adult franchise, okay, and they were asking vote system only for the men, the women they don't have the vote to right. So these were the proposals of the liberals. First thing is that all the religions should be tolerated in the country, and the second thing is that the power should not controlled by the rulers, the power should be there with the people. And the third thing is that every individual person should have the right against the government, okay. And also they argued that Rep- leaders should be elected, representatives should be elected from the people through the elections, and they have to conduct the parliamentary kind of government in the country. Means the representative should go to the parliament, and from the parliament the administration should be done. So this is also one of the proposal of the liberals. And and one more proposal that they were asking a special trained judiciary where the power should not be there with the ruler. The judiciary power should be individual. The judiciary organ itself should have the powers. So and also these liberals, they didn't believe the universal adult franchise. They were told that voting system should be given to the only men, okay, and there was no voting right to be given to the women. So these all were the proposals of the liberals. And now let us see about the radicals. And these radicals also, like they were telling that these radicals, they were telling that the representative kind of government should be there, and like all the equality opportunity should be given to the people, all the people should get the equality of the right. So this was the proposal of the radicals. And coming back to uh, the conservatives were not ready to accept the proposals of the radicals as well the liberals. Why? Because they were not expecting, they were not inviting the democratic kind of government, they were not inviting a kind of government, because these conservatives, if they welcome the democratic kind of government, or if they welcome the republic kind of government, they will be losing their powers. These conservatives will be losing their powers, because these were the landlords and these were the wealthier persons in the society, and where they were controlling the society. So obviously, if they invite a kind of, you know, a republic kind of government, so these conservatives will be losing the power. So that's why these conservatives were not in the favor of the change in the society. They don't want to change the society. They don't want to give the rights to the people. They don't want to follow any kind of democratic or any kind of republic government in the society. And next, we will look briefly at some of the important political traditions of 19th century. So, I mean, what kind of changes were there in the 19th century? So that we will be discussing. And we will focus on one historical event in which there was an attempt at a radical transformation of society. So, through the revolution in Russia, socialism became one of the most significant and powerful ideas to shape society in the 20th century. So, how the complete society have been changed due to the Russian Revolution. The socialism was, became popular in the world. It became very famous in the world, not only in Russia. It became one of the significant, powerful idea which was impacted in the other parts of the world. So, like these are the things which we are going to focus more on in this lesson. And next, let us see the radicals, liberals, and the conservatives. Just now we have discussed about the liberals, and also we have discussed about the radicals and the conservatives. Now, what kind of change we could see in the Europe continent? So, at the time of 19th century, there was a great change in the Europe, that industrial revolution. That means in the countries, most of the European countries, they have established the industries in their countries. So it that when the industries have been established in the European countries, there was a lot of change can be seen in the Europe. Like now, what are the changes took place in the Europe? So let us discuss now. So due to the industrial revolution, we can see that new cities came up. So there were different kinds of cities were developed during the industrial revolution in the Europe, and men, women, and children were brought to a factory. In that industries, which category of people worked in those industries? Men, women, and children. These all people were worked as the workers in the industries during the industrial revolution time, and mostly unemployment was common during the industrial revolution. Though there were so many industries were developed in the Europe, but then also we could see that unemployment was more in the European countries. And not only the unemployment, the people were facing problems of housing and sanitation. So what happened? So many people, they have migrated from the different villages to the cities, and what happened at that time? There were housing, shelter problem was there, and sanitation. There were no proper kind of sanitation facilities provided for the people. So due to that reason, the people have faced a lot of problem in the housing and the sanitation. And what kind of change we could see in the Europe is concentration of land and industries in the hands of few. These industries were only concentrated in the hands of some rich people, some wealthy people. I mean, only we can see these industries were established by the people who are wealthier people who were rich in the society. Only those people have established the industries in the European countries. That means again we can see the powers are there with some kind of people, and these people were controlling the economical situations in the country. And one more important thing during the industrial revolution time, that the people's working hours were more. Like in a day they used to work for more than 10 hours, more than 11 hours they used to work during the industrial revolution time. And also the railways were expanded to the different places of the countries in the European continent. So this all kind of social change, and the society has been changed entirely, because earlier we don't have these many kinds of the changes took place in the world. But when the industrial revolution has been started in the Europe in the 19th century, we can see different kind of changes can be seen in the European continent. That new cities have come up, women also started working in the industries, men and even children also, they have started working in the industries. And the people faced a lot of problem for the housing and sanitation, and there was unemployment was there. But and also the railways were expanded to the different countries in the world, and the working hours were very long, working hours were there. And these all kind of changes we could see during the industrial revolution time. And what was the society during the industrial revolution time? How the society was there, how the people were there during the industrial revolution time? So let us see. These all are the social changes which took place in the Europe during the 19th century. These are all the topics which we are discussing of 19th century. The social changes, the society, how it was changed during the 19th century. So that we are discussing. Industrialization brought men, women and children to factories. So just now we have discussed that due to the industrial revolution, the people started working in the industries. The men, women and even children also, they started working in the industries, and the working hours increased. The wages were very less. The salaries of the people who are working in the industry, the salaries were very very less for the women, children. And unemployment was rampant, means the unemployment was more, though the industries were developed in the Europe continent, but the unemployment was more in the Europe. And the liberals and the radicals encouraged trade and believed in individual efforts and labor enterprises. So these liberals and the radicals encouraged the trade which was taking place in the industry, during the industrial revolution. And some nationalists, liberals and radicals wanted revolutions for removing the governments established in Europe in 1815. So what these these liberals and radicals, what they want a kind of change in the European society was in 1815. What kind of monarchy government was there, or what kind of dictatorship of government was there? And that kind of government should be removed in the Europe. They want a new kind of government need to be implemented in the European countries. So this was also a kind of change which can be seen in the 19th century. And at the same time, in the 19th century only, the industrial revolution was started in the Europe. And now you can see a very, very bad condition of the people. There was, you know, the people treated like a slaves in the industries, especially when you come for the women and the children. I mean, those who are working in the industries. So these people were treated very badly. There was a no proper sanitation was provided in the industrial region, and not only that, even the lunch hours are also very less for the people. Half an hour lunch break was given for the people, those who are working in the industries. And especially when you come to the mining side, the children were below 12 years, below 10 years children also, they used to work in the industries. And these children, they used to send into the mining, into the ground, and they have to, bring the coal or whatever they are mining, they have to pull it out, and they have to bring the containers also, which was a very, very difficult task for the children, and they have treated very, very badly. And again, these all the industries were controlling by the richest people of the European countries. So due to these problems, the people were expecting that this kind of administration should be banned from the country. We need a proper administration in the country, and those representatives should be elected by the people. So why the representatives they are expecting should be elected by the people? Because those people will understand the situations of the other citizens of the country. So in the picture you can see that, the owners, they were sitting and they were enjoying the, and the workers who are working, they were expecting at least for some food and some water, some basic facilities in the industrial area. And the London poor in the mid 19th century has seen by contemporary. So you can see this is a London situation during the 19th century in the industrial revolution time. So like, where the people used to get the some kind of place, they used to sleep there, they used to sit there. And even the food and shelter was very, very problematic condition in the Europe. So there are so many problems, the facing by the people of the different countries in the Europe. And they were expecting a kind of change, they were expecting a kind of change in the countries. And these change ideas spreaded throughout the world. And when we talk about this change in the world, even it reached to our country also. And from our country, even the people have started thinking about the change. Even we also want a change in the country, because our country was ruling by the Britishers, and even we want the change also in our country. So these people, these situations demanded the people to bring the change into the society. What kind of change they want? They want a kind of administration, proper administration. They should have the equal rights of speaking, they should have the equal rights of questioning the government. So they want such a kind of equality, and all the people should be treated equally, and in front of the law everybody is equal. So they want so many changes need to be taken in the society. So this was the changes during the uh, uh, in 19th century. And later on how the socialism uh, raised in the European countries, and what kind of, the social reformers were there. So that we will be discussing in the next class.